Dion's just there, kind of being the wise elder hanging out, but then has like the serious warrior gangster backstory. That's like so refreshing, you know, to have, you know, someone who's walked both ways, you know, and knows both ways deeply.
Wairua toa means spiritual warrior, which is the true way of a warrior.
I've learned so much in the short space of time, and I'm really proud to have walked this path with a lot of other brothers here too. It's a hard path. No one's here because it's easy, but it is worthwhile.
There's like a stability and a depth to it which is very masculine, and that appealed to me.
Mama.
It's about reconnecting us with our Creator, with our Mother Earth, with our surroundings, but also with each other and with our pure nature. And on Wairua toa, Way of the Warrior, we're able to help men to understand these concepts with not just their brain and not just their heart, but actually be able to feel it. And if they can feel their own energy, it makes it easier to deliver the different spiritual concepts for them to understand the practice. When they understand the practice, they're able to start practicing. Men love to be physical, even if they're not really that way inclined. And so with this, we add in a bit of morako and a bit of jiu-jitsu and a bit of stand-up. So it really helps to get the blood flowing. When you can understand that your spirit is actually in charge of that expression of your body, it makes you want to do it more. And when it makes you want to do it more, it leads to a more healthier, productive self. And then our brains, we're taught that men are very logical and we're fixers. So when we start to understand our feelings and our emotions, it helps us to be able to create a more creative form of logic, so that it's not just black and white, and actually we start adding in these shades of colour. And once you start to balance your creativity with your logic, and you're using your whole brain or your hinenaro, then you're really starting to express what's in your head and be able to fluidly express your emotions, what you're feeling, and differentiate between what you're feeling and what you're thinking. Just watched Wairua toa, Way of the Warrior. I wrote this program from a prison cell at 19. It comes from me not being able to deal with grief, me being a young angry male and hard upbringing. And so I sat in a prison cell as a 19-year-old kid, and I wrote a program that would help me to never come back. From this, I realised that I was writing this for teenagers, and as an adult, when revisiting it, when I came to Queenstown, Tahuna, I decided that this was actually great for men. Wairua toa, as I said before, is that all-encompassing warrior, because our spirit is so integral to us doing the good deeds, for us really doing the inner mahi, and for us leading by example and becoming rangatira, or leaders. We are the leaders of tomorrow, and this workshop was designed to bring that out of anyone. So as much as it was aimed at youth, and it's become aimed at men, it's actually aimed at anybody with a spirit, which is everybody. I really highly recommend Honohono. The students that have become practitioners are now stepping into their roles as full-time practitioners, and they're making amazing change for their whaiora, or the people that are seeking wellness. My job now, I feel, is to step into more of the role as a teacher, and kaiako to teach honohono to those willing to learn or ready to learn, and from there to start teaching the teachers of honohono so that it expands outwards. The thing is energy is everywhere. We're all energetic beings. Spirit is just another word for energy, and when you can understand one, it helps to understand the other. So science and spirituality, although they can seem like they're complete opposites, the truth is actually somewhere in the middle. And so honohono has for better words, it has a science to it. It has I guess its own structure and how to apply it, how to pull benefits from it, and how to understand what's actually going on in a person's whole being, not just their arm where they're sore, not just their mind where they're foggy or anxious. It's a holistic view. And so the biggest part with this right now is again, workshops or wānanga to teach people how to do this for themselves and for others, to become practitioners, or at least to just work on themselves for their whānau and their family. And then the next step is for me to teach the teachers so that this can go worldwide.
My name is Casey, and I am from California, and I have traveled from California to New Zealand for this training. And I think when you find something that just feels completely right, that you want to share with the people that you care about, and I really care about my client population, my family, and everyone in California and the States that I think would benefit from this kind of work. I don't feel with my other trainings that it's as full spectrum. I think we're so multidimensional and multifaceted as human beings, and this kind of work is so unique in that it really addresses all of the layers of being a human in this existence, that when Dion shared that he was having this training, and it just seemed like it was absolutely the right thing to do. So I got on a plane, and here I am just for the training, and I'm going back right afterwards. There's so much practice these days that are recognizing the somatic experience of moving the stagnation of your life through your body, and that's on an emotional level and energetic level. And I feel like people are ready for that. I feel like people are really ready to do the personal development and the work to own that you're walking around with the blueprint of everything that you've ever lived with, and that some things are causing problems. Some things really detract from your quality of life. So in the way that it helps my clients, I really see that it's like body therapy. There's talk therapy, and there's kind of mental therapy, but this is kind of all of it in one, so that people are able to shed a lot of the dysfunction they think they have to live with, like a sore knee or a trick, elbow or whatever it is, realizing that it's actually connected to a greater pattern that they can let go of. This work can feel amazing, but the work in and of itself is work. It's wanting to invest in your true self so that you can be fully self-expressed in your lifetime. I mean, that's such a good question. I feel like what inspired me to kind of drop everything and come here and continue my training is the fact that this is such an effective practice, that other modalities lack the really deep connection that this practice affords. It's like you have a headache, so you take Advil instead of just drink more water. This is the drinking the water. This is understanding, oh, I am thirsty. And so when you find a practice like that, then you have access to the knowledge of figuring out how to facilitate someone understanding they're thirsty. Then like, of course you would jump on a plane to continue that work, because that's actually what's going to help the people you work on. It's going to make that difference. And I feel like there's such a disconnect these days, almost like a dissociation between our mental selves and our physical selves and our emotional selves. And this is like the thread that really helps to suture those selves all together in like such a deep foundational way. And so when it's, you know, one of the only things like it, like, yeah, get on the plane and train. I mean, the practice, the teachings, the prayers, the rites, like it's all part of really just being fully in that space of thriving for you and the people you care about. And obviously your clients being the people you care about as well, you know? So yeah, I think it's, it would have kept me up at night if I didn't come to continue my training.
This practice, our basic thing is to clear blocked energy, stored energy within the body. This can be mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and also to do with our whakapapa, our family and our ancestral lines. It's basically a build-up of residue that will show in our body by way of injury or dis-ease, or in our mind by way of overthinking, shitty thinking, depression, anxiety, or these sorts of things. And Honohono is a really subtle way of drawing that out, giving it back to our Creator and asking our Creator to replenish that with positive, fresh energy. So I started my first clinic with Healing Aotearoa in Dunedin, and then I wanted to build an international market so I would have international reach. And between Dunedin and Queenstown I started teaching, so probably about 10 years ago. I started teaching. My nan told me that Honohono was for everyone, and everyone has the capacity to practice Honohono. And if everyone did, then we would be healing ourselves and therefore healing the world. Unfortunately, the majority of the students of Honohono have been offshore people, tauiwi from around the world. Because of the Tohunga Suppression Act, I feel like a lot of Māori weren't ready and were, I guess, suppressed from this magic and this medicine. So from 1907 to 1962, what I do now was legal. So you would get put in jail for up to 18 months. And I'm aware of colonisation, and it's actually quite a big subject, and as much as people might think they know where it comes from and we've been colonised by this country, it's actually well before that, right back to Roman days. So it's not a new thing, but my whole thing is everyone's going to need healing from colonisation, no matter what side of that word you're on. And Honohono is a really nice way for us to address our shit, address the way we think, the way we've been programmed, and turn it around. Because if we're all living in our purpose and our passion, the world's going to be a better place. It's a no-brainer. So from here, from Queenstown to Huna, I managed to open up a clinic. I had to shut down the clinic in Dunedin because it was too hard to run two things, and I knew that I had to be in Queenstown to really get this medicine out there in a bigger, broader way, which I have, and we have 600 students thereabouts. Again, as I said, most of them are international. So now it's time to bring this medicine back to the people of Aotearoa. Not just Māori, the people who were drawn here as well, because what's good for everyone is going to be good for Māori, and what's good for Māori is definitely good for everyone. We need to get back to these indigenous practices from around the world in order to help replenish it, reshape it, and bring a brighter future for us all to live in. So Honohono's main thing is to heal one person. By healing one person, you heal all within that person's circle of influence. And I really 100% I stand beside this medicine. I used to stand behind it because I don't really do the camera thing, and now I've realised I actually have to stand beside it. Leading on from that, my students are now in a space where they are their own practitioners. And Honohono is, again, it means to join or connect. So no matter what modality of medicine you already practice, Honohono is going to either be a complement or it's going to be that main source that you turn to, and everything else you've learned becomes a complement. I really love the way it's integrative, and it doesn't matter what nationality, what religion, where you've come from. You're going to get those insights that make you a better human. You're going to get those insights of how you can learn from your own experiences and help somebody who's been through similar experiences. Our bodies and where we store our blockages are the same throughout every single human. It's just the way it is. Me atua nā me tipona, tēnā koe papatōnuku, tēnā koe ranginui, tēnā koe tāne mahuta. Nā mihi ki te manu. We thank you for the air we breathe. Thank you Tāwhiri Mātia. We thank you Tāne for allowing us into the Ngāhere. We ask for a sign of permission, a tohu, that says it's safe to enter. Thank you with the highest intent, and await your tohu or your sign. Ngā mihi, tihe mauri ora. Kia ora.
Ko tainui tuaka, ko rohini nā paimanga, ko rangitiki te aoa, ko nā te raukawa te iwi, ko nā te manamano te hapu. Ko taimata o te rā te marae, ko rā ana te whiti marama o te ata gardener tōku ingoa. Why did I do this? So I guess my journey started with about 5 years ago. I decided that if a mate of mine sent me to an awakening session. And in the awakening session, my nanny came in and did a few things that I was pretty like, oh, that's not okay, settle down. But it really opened my eyes to my spirituality and gifts that I realised I had. I never as a young person, it was kind of stopped, so I blocked it out for a long period of time. And then I started Reiki with a friend of mine. Found I enjoyed it a lot, but something just didn't feel right. And then I was just like, okay, so I have to do this. So I messaged him, sent it out that I'd really love to do all three, but I can't afford to pay for it. So would he accept time payments from me? And if I could get working income to pay for it, would he accept that? So he said yes. And I worked on working income, and I got a lot of no's for starters. But I know a little bit about the system, so I figured out a way of getting the first one at least. The first one was paid through a work attendance course. Payment kind of thing, so you could get it, it's about $1,000 a year. You can get that to help you do training, to help you get into work. So that's why I could get it through that, because I told them, well, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, so it's my work. You want me off this benefit, so help me get it. But the thing that I found most beautiful was the trees clapping. like I heard them clap, they were so happy to have us. And I'd actually said to one of the other guys, I said, look, the trees are clapping, they're glad we're here, they welcome us in, they're ready for us to come and do the healing we need to with them. And that was absolutely beautiful. And then when I was actually with my tree, I'd done all the stuff I needed to, had a good cry, then I laid down and went to go to sleep. And I heard the clapping again and I was like, oh, we're finished, okay, get up, let's go. And came back down, so it was lovely because they like welcomed us in and then welcomed us away, you know, sent us on our way with their blessing, which was beautiful. So my thing is, try it. If it comes up on your screen and it keeps popping up, listen to that tohu. Take that message and go forth, because it's been the best thing I've ever done. And I have a clear path of where I'm going now.